All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. It's a great week to be a Las Vegas Raiders fan. Josh McDaniels has officially been fired and Antonio Pierce has stepped in. He will make his NFL head coaching debut this Sunday against his former New York Giants team. Keep in mind, the Raiders gave Josh McDaniels a 6-year contract in January of 2022. So he has over 4 full years left on the deal that the Raiders are obligated to pay. This is now the 12th different coach to coach a game for the Raiders over the past 20 seasons. And since Mark Davis took over control of the team in 2011, things have just not been good. So I think the owner's inept, but I'm going to remain optimistic because, Josh McDaniels just didn't work. I actually am a huge John Gruden fan. But, I understand some of the pessimism for the future. However, I'm going to be optimistic on this because I'm excited. I think Antonio Pierce is the perfect vibe and culture setter for this Las Vegas Raiders team. I actually would say I 100% believe the Las Vegas Raiders will win this upcoming Sunday, which, honestly probably isn't that good for the Raiders because you want as good of a draft pick as possible. But Mr. Aiden O'Connell will get the start against the New York Giants. We saw him start the game against the Chargers a couple of weeks ago. He did a perfectly fine job. I never understood Brian Hoyer stepping in whenever Jimmy G got hurt. It just never really made any sense to me. The Raiders also did fire their offensive coordinator, Mick Lombardi. It's just like a crazy turn of events, man. I knew Josh McDaniels would probably get fired by the end of the season if they did not improve their 6-11 record after going 10-7 with an interim coach the year before he came into town. But I love Antonio Pierce. I love the culture he is already setting. I love everything that is coming out of his mouth right now. And yeah, we're going to talk about that in today's video. But before we do, if you guys enjoy it, be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content. Raiders fans, if we try and get this video to 250 likes, that would mean the absolute world to me. So people were joshing Antonio for this comment here, but it really rings true, and it's going to be the difference maker. I don't really care about wins or losses for the rest of the season. I just want to see things get back to the way they were a couple of years ago when they went 10-7, they made the playoffs, and they almost took down the team that made the Super Bowl in the Cincinnati Bengals. They're sitting at 3-5. They don't have a game over 20 points. I mean, it's just embarrassing. So here's a quote from Antonio Pierce when he was introduced as the official head coach. "I'm a former player. I touch former players. They're going to feel me. I need to feel them." Now, like I said, people were, clowning this dude because of, those specific words out of context. Sounds a little funny, but it just really does ring true. This is huge, man. At this point in the Raiders, you have Max Crosby, you have Devontae Adams, you have Josh Jacobs. I need to keep these guys healthy. I need to keep these guys happy. Healthy does not matter if my team absolutely sucks. Happy is the most important factor here. I need Devontae Adams, Josh Jacobs, and Max Crosby to remain with the Las Vegas Raiders because these are freaking superstars. They're freaking superstars, man. So I love Antonio Pierce. I love that he's a former player, and I really think just like person to person, like, coach to player, I just think impact-wise, relationship-wise, he's going to have such a big impact. And we already heard it with Hunter Renfrow, and I guarantee you, as the season goes on, we're going to continue to hear just like bits and pieces in these pressers, in these pregame interviews, whatever it is from Raiders players on kind of Josh McDaniels and his brief tenure with the Raiders. So here's Hunter Renfrow on the coaching change away from Josh McDaniels. He said this direct quote: "No more walking on eggshells. Just have fun playing football again and not just walk on eggshells everywhere. Just go out there and enjoy playing like we're kids." I think AP being a player and just having a different energy is just different. And I think he puts it perfectly. Hunter Renfrow especially, the best, or not the best, one of like a top 5 undisputed slot wide receiver 2 years ago. Last season, he was banged up. We wrote it off as he was just banged up, learning a new system, learning a new scheme with Derek Carr, Devontae Adams, Josh McDaniels, et cetera, et cetera. He's got to get healthy in this upcoming season. Yes, he might still be a trade candidate, but heading into this season, man, I thought the Raiders were going to be a lot better than people thought. And I will say this, actually, before we get any further, the Raiders, for all the dysfunctionality, they're the 30th ranked offense in the league. Like I said, they have one game over 20. They have literally one game where they've scored over 20 points. The fact that they're 3-5 is actually insane. I mean, it is actually insane that they're 3-5. There's talent on this football team. And it's just, as the weeks have gone by, especially former Raiders players, but you'll have like NFL analysis come on here on, like ESPN, whatever, and they'll just say like, Josh McDaniels isn't it. It was the Tom Brady effect, and I fully agree with it. And, whether or not I won't place 100% of blame on Josh McDaniels, obviously. But here's the thing, Jimmy G still got to hit his guys. He's still got to hit Devontae Adams. He's still got to make these throws. But it just, and I know Raiders fans 100% agree with me on this statement. Like, I tried to remain hopeful and I tried to remain optimistic that Josh McDaniels was this genius offensive mind who had a bad rap from his quick tenure, a year and a half over in Denver or whatever it was. Just hoping that a change of scenery, learning those lessons was going to go a very long way. And just the body language from not only Josh McDaniels, like people say it in the comments all the time, Josh McDaniels is not a leader of men. And I hate to say it because I don't know the dude personally. I'm not trying to take personal attacks at him, but like the culture and the aura of the Raiders last season was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. So we're sitting here thinking to ourselves, all right, first year head coach, or not his first year, but you got a new head coach coming in. You have a brand new GM coming in. Let's give it at least one season. So Derek Carr and the Las Vegas Raiders shit the bed last season. They go 6-11. We're thinking, all right, we'll give them another season. We'll be optimistic. There's a lot of pessimism in the air, as should be. Granted, it's fully granted. But I'm going to give Josh the benefit of the doubt, and let's see what happens here. Oh my goodness, the worst take in the entire world. I think Antonio Pierce is the perfect interim head coach for the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, we've heard like Harbaugh rumors. I don't think Ben Johnson would honestly even take the Raiders job, not to be, rude or disrespectful here, just keeping it a buck with you guys. I think Antonio Pierce can change obviously the culture, the atmosphere, the aura of this team, but I think he can get this momentum for the Raiders back on track. I know Derek Carr is no longer the quarterback, so it's like, using a team from a year and a half ago that went 10-7, is kind of like redundant. But at the end of the day, man, they went 10-7 and they made the playoffs and they almost won the playoff game. And you go 6-11 the next season. And even though they were 3-4, and then 3-5 after Detroit's loss last Monday, I don't know how, honestly, they were getting these wins. It wasn't working. It just was not working in any way, shape, or form. So I wish Josh McDaniels the best of luck, to be honest with you, because I think he's a genius offensive mind. I think he's perfect offensive coordinator. But, I mean, that's it for today, man. Let's see what Aiden O'Connell, let's see what these Raiders respond with, because I guarantee you they're going to win this upcoming Sunday. And that has nothing to do with the New York Giants. It has everything to do with the Las Vegas Raiders and the new culture being set. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button, hit that sub button, and we will see you next time.